I sort of started playing at primary school, just tag rugby, and thought it was a lot of fun and it was a good excuse to get muddy, which I also thought was hilarious at the age of 7 or 8 or whenever it was. Loved it. Played in the under 11s, under 12s boys teams at Tyndale and like had such a good time. Like those guys are still some of like my friends and all of that sort of stuff. All my family were super influential because they all like mucked in and drove me everywhere I needed to be, especially because girls rugby is not always that popular. Like I ended up going hours and hours and hours for training and playing and stuff. My dad coached my like under 15s, under 18s girls team, not because he wanted to, but because there was no one else. Chris Patterson was a big one, but which is funny because he's obviously in quite a lot with his kicking now. He was the one that I was like, oh my goodness, I just want to be like him. As I got a bit older, I moved down to Hartpury, and Nolly Waterman, who's the England fullback, was my coach and mentor there, and she had a massive influence on me as well. We came up and watched Six Nations games. I can't remember which was first, but one year we did France and one year we did Wales. I already was playing rugby at that point and loved it. And to be honest, I didn't even know about women's rugby. I was just like, I want to play with them. I knew then that I wanted to be part of it because it felt so special, and like pouring out of the stadium and walking down the middle of the road, I just thought like that was the coolest thing ever. So with the 15s team, when the eligibility change happened, I straight away spoke to Jo Yap, who's our director of rugby at Worcester, and said, oh, I think this makes me eligible for Scotland, please can you have a chat? Spoke to Brian on the phone a couple of days later and was really lucky that they wanted to have me involved, and it's been really good. First out, Caity Mattinson. I've mainly been involved in away fixtures, so there was just the Glasgow one that I'd been to. So my mum's not seen any yet, but I'm sure she will at some point. Scott rang me, I think, like during Six Nations or something, and said that this was the Sevens programme, would I be interested in being a part of it? And I kind of said to him, I was like, Scott, I don't play any Sevens. I don't know if that's the right decision for you to make. Pretty daunting. I haven't played a lot of Sevens before now, so I didn't really know what to expect, other than every time you speak to the girls about it who do both, just speak so highly of the programme and how much they enjoy it. So it was kind of a no-brainer to give it a go and at least see how I found it. Because it's a smaller group, you get to know people a little bit quicker, and you get to know them on like a much deeper level, which is really nice, and it means that when your lungs feel like they're burning and stuff, you're prepared to put in that like extra bit of work because you're doing it with your pals and everyone's really close and wants to do it for each other. So the World Series was just an unbelievable first experience. Playing New Zealand first was pretty daunting because I obviously went on to win the whole tournament. So it was a tough start for us, and it was absolutely boiling hot. I remember being in the warm-up, and we warmed up on a plastic pitch, like a 3G, and doing a down-up, and you could feel the heat radiating off the surface, and you're like, oh, it's going to be a long day. This was like one of my favourite bits of the whole tournament. It's like defending our line. We're putting so much pressure on them, and eventually we work so hard to keep them down there, and our defence is so good that we eventually get the ball back because they throw it into touch behind the goal line. And just like the work rate from the girls at that point in the game and that point of the weekend to just keep pressing them back was unreal. Just like there's not even a gap there, and Rhoda just goes for it, and we're through. The head back, head down, and scoring under the post with 2 minutes to go gives us a real chance of finishing the game out well. We knew that it was there, like even our learning from the New Zealand game to the Canada game was massive, and we thought that if we could continue to just learn and put things right like that game on game, we knew we'd kind of be in a really good place by the end of the tournament. 30 seconds left on the clock. I was looking at Nelly thinking, how do we kill the time on this game? The scenes after the game just kind of show how much it meant to us all, how exciting that was to get that first win of the weekend, but also first win for Scotland Sevens against England Sevens ever. Like really, really special moment. I think like I'll remember forever. Like it was such a good feeling. The group of like girls that are in this Sevens environment are just unbelievably good, and I think Scott's brilliant as well, and like genuinely enjoyed every moment of it. It was first time playing Sevens at any like real high level for me, and big steep learning curve, but yeah, absolutely like relish that opportunity to just learn from every game and yeah, have a lot of fun on and off the pitch, which is fun. Genuinely, I spoke to a few people who I think it might be like my best ever rugby experience, just in terms of group of people that were there, like our goals as a squad and like what we want to do on this journey is something that like I massively resonate with. We've spoken a lot about inspiring the next generation of like Scottish rugby players, particularly like young girls, to pick up a rugby ball. And like as a player, there's nothing more exciting. That's why you play. Like first Commonwealth Games, I actually came and watched, I think it was in Manchester, and I actually went to watch the Sevens, and that was like my first Commonwealth Games experience. And I think it was the Australia-Scotland game. I can't remember the result actually, but I remember having a great time. So maybe Scotland must have done well. Obviously there's 2 European tournaments and then Commonwealth Games, which is kind of flat out in Sevens, and then yeah, into the tests here pretty much, well, straight back and straight into it really. I've not played at Damhealth, unfortunately I missed the England game, but it would be really awesome, like I know from speaking to the girls how good an atmosphere we get here and like how supportive the crowd is. So it'd be amazing to get the opportunity to play here in front of a home crowd of lots of people ideally.